Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Inner Empress and you are here at Inner Empress Readings. So today I actually want to take a look into what do you need to be releasing from your life. I am recording this right now in the month of October. This is a timeless reading, so whenever you happen to see it, the message is relevant for you. But I want to look into what do you need to let go of? What needs to finally be released, and that way you can prepare yourself to bring in new things as you're going into the new year. So I'm going to put up 3 different pictures for you to choose from. Take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and you'll find the timestamp in the description box below. For anyone new to the channel, welcome. For anyone returning, so great to see you. Let's do this. Hello, those of you who chose the first pile. Let's take a look into what are you releasing right now? What do you need to release? So I'm going to do a mixture of tarot and oracle cards, and let's see what's coming through. I'm hearing something about family. It might be a family issue, a family grudge, family trauma that needs to be released. Anything else, Great Spirit? What does Pile 1 need to release? I heard need. So need, and I'm looking on this hand right here at the word health. I don't know if there is a concern over something health-wise, maybe something that runs in the family. A release to need. Need what? Let's look further. Can you tell me more about that, Great Spirit? About need and how that relates to health, especially family-wise, if it even is, for those watching. Okay, now my eyes are being drawn to heart here. For someone, heart and head. Wow, health, heart, head. And there's a bunch of other writings on here that aren't grabbing me right now. So for someone specific, and I am not saying anything to scare anyone. This is something that you may have also come to the conclusion of, have already been looking into. There could be something family related, health related, that may relate to the head, may relate to the heart, and you need to look into that. So for someone specific. All right, anything else, Great Spirit, for Pile 1, what they need to release? Spirit said turn over the other cards. Okay. All right. 9 of Cups, King of Cups. Okay, right off the bat, for some of you, you need to release, and we got the loud card outside. It's giving me confirmation. Some of you need to release drinking. So it could be the fact that you find yourself over partaking, maybe even to combat shyness, because I'm hearing like life of the party come through. So that could be something, or if you dealt with a breakup, heartbreak, you might have been turning a little more to drinking to help you with that. There's something with that that's coming through, and Spirit is saying like you need to really take a look at this and really release this, really work on that, healing that. Okay, anything else, Great Spirit? Anything else? I'm hearing dependent. So if, for those of you watching, if it's not drinking that you've been turning to or enjoying more of, or even, with love and light, trying to beat an addiction to, if it's not that, I'm sensing that there's also a sense of like, some of you are getting caught up and focused in the wrong things. You're putting your time and your energy, and I'm hearing validity, into outside sources, because this is the wish fulfillment card. And this being the King of Cups, this king feels deeply. However, he doesn't always show what he's feeling. And quite a few of you need to release this dependence on outside things validating you. There might be a sense of I almost want to say doom in this group, where you might have been experiencing a lower, heavier vibrational energy, where you've just been in this, like, I want to say spiral. I almost said cycle, where you've been in a spiral of just negative thinking and feeling like, oh, everybody else around me is blessed. Everybody else is getting this, getting that. I'm not. What's going on? I'm hearing manifestation work. Some of you could been trying to manifest something specifically, and you feel like it's not happening quick enough. It's not working. So there's an energy here of feeling as if your own blessings are not coming through, or even the self-defeating thinking of, oh, it just would never happen for me. And so you're feeling that space and feeling that void with other things to kind of distract you, instead of, because I'm hearing do the work. So I feel like spirit is saying that those things can come to light. It's just that while spirit and the universe, your guides, your angels, you know, God, Allah, whoever you align with, while they are actually setting up for you to receive these blessings, they cannot bring it to you because there are certain things that you need to clear out. For some of you, there is an emotional dependence on a situation, a person, a place, a thing, idea, that it is no longer serving you, and it was possibly never for your greatest good, and you are so scared to change that mindset, to release that thought, to see a different perspective, and that is keeping you stuck. This pile, something big that I want to warn to everyone who chose this pile, because I'm hearing the word comfort, false comfort. So the biggest thing that's coming through is that spirit is saying for pile 1, be careful of how you're self-soothing, because you're dealing with different things, whether it's stress because of family related matters, health related matters, you know, things not manifesting the way you want to, or heartbreak, whatever it is that's going on. I feel like this pile is dealing with, you're dealing with a lot of stress, pile 1. You're dealing with a lot of heaviness, a lot of possible worry. And spirit is saying the way you're handling that worry is the thing you need to release. Some of you are trying to distract yourself, whether that is, like I said, through alcohol or other means. You know, others of you might be trying to distract yourself with different people, you know, different connections, different, just, I don't know, different comforts that actually are not healthy for you. And they're saying it's not going to fix the problem. For someone specific, and I don't mean to trigger anyone, for someone specific, you might have gotten into a car accident recently. Something like that just came through. I don't know if alcohol was involved with that, but something just came through. And spirit is saying like that was supposed to be the turning point. It's supposed to be the wake up call. Great Spirit, what else does pile 1 need to release? Those who chose pile 1, what else do they need to release? Okay, so I'm getting a sense of defensiveness. Pile 1, you might be a little defensive. I don't know if you've had family, friends, loved ones who have tried to, you know, just talk to you about certain things or help you along the path, or even offer you that advice for a different perspective. And you might be feeling attacked right now, isolated, like no one understands, no one gets me. I just heard, let me pause. I want to first of all send love and light real quick to someone's energy I was just picking up on. The person that I'm speaking to, I don't know if you unfortunately recently just buried a child. Something with that came through. You might have, that might have been part of what that spiral energy was. You might be coming out of a very dark night of the soul right now because of that. And perhaps you use these methods to help you get through that pain. But spirit is saying that you have a community around you that is actually trying to help, not hurt, and that you are not allowing them to show up for you. So there's something about coming out of self-isolation, out of feeling as if you are alone. Now, for others of you, in regards to this message, Spirit is saying there is a lot of help and guidance that is being put out there for you, but you are rejecting it. So they want you to be open to people's suggestions. Of course, listen to your own intuition. You don't have to take anyone's words, you know, blindly, but I'm hearing take a second. So Spirit is saying before you just automatically reject something, sit with it. Sit with it, write it out if you need to, think on it, because there's something that Spirit is saying you have been turning away from answered prayers. Whew. Okay. Is there anything else, Great Spirit? Anything else? Yeah. Some of you are not expressing yourselves. You need to let go of, what did I just hear? I just heard something about some of you are talking, but you're not actually saying the things that need to be said. And it kind of went back to this energy here. Like there might have been a lot of arguments happening lately, or even if it's not a lot of like arguments, if you're just like shutting down communication, not speaking, there's something with verbal, there's something with the word, and it's coming through of spirit is saying like you're not really expressing what you're really feeling. You know, some of you are not really telling people like, hey, I'm actually hurting. Hey, I'm actually disappointed. I'm actually depressed. You know, I'm actually dealing with this. And it's almost like, no, I'm fine. Or, you know, there's just a tension that I'm feeling to where spirit is saying like the truth is not coming out. The Chariot just hopped out the deck and went to the floor. Give me 1 second. Ooh. Can we clarify the Chariot, please? With the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you in this pile, y'all trying so hard to make moves on your own. You're not accepting help. And spirit is getting frustrated with you, with love and light, because spirit is saying, listen, you have been praying for a way. You have been praying for a move. You've been praying for, you know, this new journey, this new whatever it is that you have been praying for. And we have been trying to bring it to you. Like whether it's money they're trying to bring, whether it's like a mentor, a friend, assistance, perspective, like just whatever it is. I'm hearing, I heard healing. So whatever it is, spirit is saying like, we are bringing it to you. We have it in front of you, but you are rejecting it. You are clearly and literally rejecting it. So pile 1, I think the most important thing right now is you have to change your mindset. Like right now, there is a very pessimistic lens that you're viewing the world and your situation through. And I say this with love. The whole point of this reading is for us to realize what the blockage is. What is holding you up from your best self, your abundance, your highest vibration right now? And what that is there's a mindset of I could do it on my own. Or I have to do it on my own, or I've always done it on my own. No one else will understand. No one else will help me. No one else can do it. And so spirit is saying that that is not the truth. That is a comforting thought that you are giving to yourself. And so, and even comforting thoughts, even comforting habits can still put us in an energy of discomfort. It's just we're so used to it that that's what we default to. You know, we're familiar. And spirit is saying that for you to actually move into your, I'm hearing timeline, your best timeline, your next timeline. Spirit is saying that you have to allow yourself to be more open, to be more vulnerable, to, you know, do the thing that scares you, to actually proactively make the changes in your life and listen, you know, listen to the wisdom that others are trying to share with you. There's a very defensive energy right here that spirit is saying you don't have to be on alert. Many of you, your nervous systems are shot right now. You've been battling, you've been fighting, you have been protecting, defending, like you have not been in a state of peace for a very long time. And I am being told to point out the nervous system for some reason specifically. So for some of you, I think it's very important that you work on regulating it. Like really possibly doing your own research, talking to your doctors about different ways to regulate. That might have to do with some sleep. That might have to do with changing your diet, changing any like self-soothing habits that might not be the best for you. You know, changing your mind, because if you're in a fearful mind state, then you're going to keep looping. You're going to keep stressing yourself out. For someone specifically, you might really just have to go to the doctor and talk to them about changing the levels on some of your medication, because it might be just literally ramping up I don't know, something in your system that's producing like a lot of cortisol or something for some reason. So there needs to be a shift, because pile 1 is stressed. Pile 1 is stressed, and spirit is saying you do not have to stay in this state of being. Okay, so pile 1, let's go ahead and get some advice for you. Let's see if there's anything else spirit wants you to know. Okay. Great Spirit, what advice do you have? Any additional advice or messages for pile 1? Any additional advice or messages, please? Any additional advice? I'm hearing twice. What does that mean? Twice? I hear they'll understand. So whoever that resonates for, something about twice will resonate for you. Let me pause. Potential trigger warning. A message is coming up. As I was asking about that, I don't know if someone particularly have tried to, you know, unalive themselves. And I'm saying it in this manner because I don't know if YouTube is, you know, sensitive and going to try to take the video down. But there could have been 2 attempts to do so. And right now I'm staring at, there's like these creases across the wrist of this hand. Spirit is definitely encouraging you to know that things do get better, can get better, will get better. And they want you to be an active participant in making it better. So that just came through for someone. And I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna send you some love and light. We're gonna send you some love and light, okay? And if everyone who's watching could just take a moment and just to everyone who chose pile 1, just send some love and light, like that collective love and light. Let it just, you know, let it just hit you. Let it hit the other person that's watching, everyone who's tuning in right now, because this pile, let's just raise the vibration of those watching real quick, okay? Everybody's going to benefit from this. So let's just send some love and light to each other, okay? Okay, beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into these messages. Any messages, Great Spirit, to pile 1? Any advice, any messages? I'm hearing don't pull. I don't know what that means, but don't pull. Any advice, Great Spirit, for those who chose pile 1? Any advice, Great Spirit, for those who chose pile 1? Any advice, Great Spirit, for those who chose pile 1? I'm hearing something about the number, they said 2 and 8. So for some reason, I don't know if somebody's turning 28 or 82, or if like that number just has been following anyone, but something about the number 2 and 8. All right, and one more. Let's get you some angel numbers specifically, since that's popping up. All right, let's jump into this. Okay, so angel numbers, we have 1177, keep it up, persevere, grow, kindness, abundance. That's beautiful. This message is an affirmation of your doing well. You are on the right path, so keep going. This sign represents that you have carefully chosen your thoughts and that you should focus more steadily on your goals, indeed, and appropriate emotions to your thoughts, such as being thankful for the gifts you have in life. Gratitude will accelerate the process of your realization. That realization part is really hitting me because, as I said, Spirit is letting you know that you have so much. You have so much to be grateful and thankful for. So many blessings and abundances coming your way, so much assistance and help, new beginnings. Like, it's just giving me this energy of like a sun rising and like the light just, I don't know, like cresting over a hill. And that imagery is so important because it's kind of showing like all the blessings on your peripheral and how you're stuck in this mindset of like, oh, I'm not doing the right things. I should have done this. This isn't working. Da, da, da. Like you're in a bubble, honestly. And they're telling me to point that out because the only darkness, in a sense, is the bubble. They're saying if you can actually pop that, if you can just take a step forward, you will realize you're actually surrounded by light, by all the things you've been hoping for, wishing for, dreaming for, manifesting. So they really want to encourage you, as I said, that you have the power, you have the assistance, you have everything you need to move forward. This is a mindset shift that Pile 1 has to move yourselves out of in order to recognize really where you are. I just heard for someone specifically that you may have been dealing with I don't know, it kind of gave me the feeling of like a magician in reverse. So I don't know who that's going to be in your life, whoever I'm speaking to. It could be an ex-partner or a partner you're with now. It could be a family member. It could be a toxic boss or coworker, a mentor who is secretly jealous. Like there's something that's coming through with this energy of someone you trusted, someone you respected, may have actually been the person to plant these seeds of doubt. And they just have been like growing throughout time to where you don't even trust yourself anymore. You started taking on this mindset or this perception of yourself, of your goals, of your capabilities based off of what this other person has told you. So in this case, Spirit is saying that whoever I'm talking to right now, that this actually resonates with you, that the importance is of de-weeding your mind. They're saying that it's really important for you to understand the thoughts that are not yours, that you have taken on and adopted as if, oh, this is how I really feel about myself. And honestly, you don't. I'm also hearing somebody's life. So someone could have been projecting their own life fears onto you, their own life failures. This could very well be a parent or something who kind of has raised you to be fearful of everything. Oh, don't do that. That's not going to work out well. Oh, there's something with that where it's kind of like you have been influenced. I feel like many people in this pile, there is some type of influence over you, whether under the influence or being influenced directly by somebody's words. Like, you need to first, as I said, trust your intuition. And then you need to also, if this is a person that you are very aware of, you're always feeling negative after talking to them, you always are feeling like down and depleted, even though you had a great idea and they kind of like squashed it for you. That type of person is not the person you need to be around. Because I did see here that there is a defensiveness a bit for those of you that, Spirit is trying to give you good advice, trying to put good people into your life and you don't trust them. And for some of you, you might not trust good people because you're so used to being around people who didn't have good intentions. And so now you actually have to relearn, who is speaking to me from their highest good and who is actually speaking to me from a place of fear and jealousy and low vibration. So once again, this is mental. This is you having to clear your mind first. Understand what your baseline of peace is. What does peace feel like? Because remember we talked about the nervous system for this pile, that no matter who chose this pile, your nervous system is important. If you don't know what peace feels like, to be calm, to be relaxed, to be, just, okay, I'm good. If you don't know what that feels like, then you're not going to be able to easily detect when somebody's throwing off that peace, when someone is jeopardizing that peace. If you're so used to running off of, just survival mode and chaos and just, cortisol, you're going to think that disruption is regular. It's normal. And honestly, it's not. It's unhealthy for you. So the biggest thing is you need to put yourself into peace. You need to regulate your nervous system, get your mind clear, allow yourself to understand what feeling calm and just, stable feels like. And that way, your intuition is going to talk to you louder when you come across someone, come across a situation, come across a thing that disaligns with that peace. You're going to be like, oh, this is disrupting me. This is not supposed to be here. I'm sorry for that whole little segue, but Spirit wanted me to really point that out for somebody. So next we have 3300, God-given responsibility, confusion, clarity, spiritual awakening. So God and the angels are trying to get your attention. We talked about that. Oh my God, we talked about that. It is very likely something related to your divine purpose. Is there some guidance that you have been ignoring lately? If so, you may feel stuck right now. Everything we've been saying in regards to this. This means listening to and following your divine guidance and taking relevant action, which goes back to what we just talked about. Because for many of you, you might feel like, I don't know what my intuition feels or sounds like. I don't know if it's anxiety or if it's intuition. And that's why it's so important that you work on mastering peace, because once you have that, you will know what anxiety feels like and you'll know what intuition feels like. You'll know when, something is just not feeling in alignment versus if you're just a little anxious about something. So this just confirmation of what we just talked about. Next, we have surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. So that can be relevant for those of you who feel like someone is trying to change you, but also if you find yourself trying to going back to kind of that combative energy, if you find yourself resisting how someone naturally is and wanting to change them, wanting to fix them so it makes you more comfortable, or even makes you comfortable for you to stay in a situation that might not be healthy for you, Spirit is saying you cannot change people. You cannot fix someone. Everybody is on their own path. You have to let that person do them, and you have to make moves for yourself accordingly. Sometimes that's walking away from someone, and that may suck. And sometimes I meant to say this, sometimes it's not necessarily a need to fully walk away. Sometimes there's a need for distance, to just, distance yourself a bit so you can realign. But whichever person I'm speaking to, whatever situation, you have to do what's best for you, but just know you can only control you. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. I want to pause. Remember, I was saying that some of you in this pile are not speaking your truth. This is so important. Many of you may have been raised by someone or put in situations that made you feel as if you don't like confrontation. And therefore, in order to avoid confrontation, especially if you felt with that 7 of Wands that, confrontation is like around you quite a bit, or you're trying to get away from it, you might have put yourself into an energy of just like, okay, all right, fine. Yeah, I'll do it. Okay. Just yes manning in a sense. And Spirit is saying, no, you need to start speaking your truth, your needs, how you feel, what you don't like. And so focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. Very important. All right, then we have surrender. Oh my God. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. And that is why Spirit had me talk to you about your nervous system, because many of you in this pile, you feel like you don't trust your intuition. You don't even know what it feels like. I just heard my intuition led me wrong before. No, it never led you wrong. It never led you wrong. Even if a situation doesn't turn out the way you may have wanted it to, doesn't mean that it didn't turn out for your highest good. So Spirit is saying that you have to let go of the thought that you can change people. You have to let go of the thought that you can, even change people by making them happy. Because that people pleasing energy, sometimes that is also a tactic that we have learned. Like, if I do what this person wants, then they'll, possibly, hopefully, do what I want. They'll propose to me. They'll, behave. They'll give me money. They won't cheat. They'll give me the promotion. And it's like, Spirit is letting you know that also is very toxic for you, because it's not true. It's not healthy. It's bending yourself, hoping that someone else will appreciate the bend. And then when you finally break, you feel like left out in the cold of, well, I did so much. I did this. Why wasn't that enough? I just heard, why wasn't I enough? So Spirit is saying you will know the actual path for yourself by allowing yourself to listen to your intuition. And we got to heal that nervous system first. I heard environment. Some of you need to change your environment. You need to heal your environment. Your environment might be stressing you out, keeping you in, like, I'm hearing buzz, like, where it's like you're always feeling, in a sense, like you're on the edge of your seat. And something about your environment is not making you feel at peace enough to where you can even listen to your intuition. All right, last but not least, we have these. So we have soul whispers. Look beyond the words and hear what is really being said now. Absolutely. Ooh, so much energy here. Some of you have been, first of all, there's a lot of mistrust in this pile. You don't trust what other people are saying or trying to do for you, even when some of those intentions are really for your highest good, because of the fact that some of you don't trust yourself, you don't trust your intuition, and also some of you have dealt with people who you could not trust what they were saying to you. And spirit, I feel like this is linking back to intuition. As you start to really pay attention and get more into your higher self, as you really start to lock in, you're going to start to hear what is being said beyond what someone is just saying to you. You're going to start hearing the truth. I'm hearing trust. Some of you don't trust the messages you've been picking up on. Some of you are actually really picking up. And this goes back to spirit letting you know, pile one, you're on the right path. Even if you feel like you're in the dark, you're struggling, you're stuck, that's where you're supposed to be right now. I cannot tell you why. It's a lot of people watching, so I can't tell you why for your individual selves. But Spirit is saying that where you actually are is where you're supposed to be, and you have to keep going because you're about to have a breakthrough. Something beautiful is about to burst, I'm hearing, burst into your life. And so Spirit is saying that you right now, Pile One, are honing your spiritual gifts. Your spiritual, oh yeah, and we had spiritual awakening here. You right now are in a process of learning to trust yourself. And this, I'm hearing, is one of the biggest, there's something about this being one of the biggest milestones in your life, because I don't know if some of you are breaking like decade-old habits, reliances, truths. Like there's something where this is like really going to change the way you move forward in life from this point on. Like you're not even going to be the same person. People I'm hearing are not even going to recognize you. If you had, people in your life who felt as though they were easily able to manipulate you or had you behaving a certain way or, something like that, that's no longer after this. It's just no longer. Be careful. Some of you, I'm hearing something about ringing in the ears. So you might be dealing with that. That's a sign to you that you're picking up on certain things. Some of you, clairaudient. So you might be picking up songs or hearing snippets of conversations and stuff. This is divine guidance to you. So pay attention to certain bits and pieces of things that are coming your way. We have transform and rise. This is so beautiful. It says your journey of transformation unlocks vast potential, guiding your evolution to new heights. I love this. And even this image here, I love the fact that it's just like, it's so much underneath the surface, so much that is bringing forth. And I feel like your blessings, Pile One, are going to be proportionate to the size of the suffering that you have gone through. I feel like I have to say that. If you felt as though you have been dealing with so much grief, so much sadness, so much struggle, one thing after the other, Spirit is letting you know. Now, please listen to what I'm saying right now. Like, Spirit is really telling me to highlight this to you. Spirit is letting you know that you have not been ignored, and that the blessings that are going to soon come into your life are going to be proportionate to the amount of suffering you have had to endure. Please claim this, Pile One. And I never say anything to people like that. And I'm not asking you to write a comment to claim this or share this, nothing like that. Please just sit here with yourself and just say, I claim that. I claim this for me. My blessings are proportionate to the suffering I have endured and I have survived. Wow. Recovery, comeback. I have chills. It says, find strength and healing as each step forward renews hope and paves the way for a triumphant resurgence. I feel like I'm about to cry. For some of you, the cross might be an important symbol, and please don't feel any type of way about the fact that it's upside down. It's nothing evil or nothing like that. These cards just have a, dual meaning on each side. But this is so beautiful because Pile One, the hardest times are behind you, okay? The hardest times are behind you. Every moment, every step moving forward is about to move you closer and closer to the light, to the blessings. You're going to notice things falling away. You're going to notice things getting easier. You're going to notice people and places and things getting removed, certain things coming in that is assistance or helpful or suggestions. Like, your blockages are crumbling. So I'm kind of getting like an image of a dam that has holes in it and is starting to break apart. So now water is flowing through. It's like water and light. Wow. So there's something with that where spirit is letting you know you are moving forward. You're already in the momentum of progression. I just heard thank God. So somebody may have been praying for that. Okay, and then, oh my God, we have emerging dawn. Trust that every ending is another beginning coming in disguise. We just was talking about that. Pile one, I really don't have anything else to say at this point. I think this is incredible. I think that wow, just what a turnaround, you know, from the beginning, picking up on that energy to like where you are now. Just, I heard always darkest before the dawn. Oh wow, my little seashells are popping off. Maybe something with a C is important for someone. Okay. But either way, I'm just so proud of you, Pile One, because you have all been putting in the work and you're about to see the rewards of that. So keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. That's the most important thing, okay? Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Whew. Pile One, I'm sending you lots of love and light. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful for you. If you would like to leave a comment of something that resonated for you, I always read them. Let me know. I would love to hear about it. And if you want a personal reading with me, whether on, you know, next steps forward in regards to career, yourself, love, finances, whatever the case is, I do have readings currently open. You can find the link to my Etsy shop in the description box below. But thank you so much. You're going to be okay, Pile One. You're going to be okay. Hello, those of you who chose pile 2, how are you doing today? I hope that you're doing well. Let's just cleanse and clear the energy real quick because pile 1 was a little bit heavy at first. So I'm gonna do a little sound. All right. Whew. Okay. Pile 2. Before I started your reading, something came to me about raspberry leaf tea. I'm actually drinking some right now, but something about that stood out to me. Now, of course, I am not a medical professional or, you know, a lawyer or anything of that nature. Please make sure you consult your own physicians, etc. But it might be relevant for someone specifically who is watching. Red raspberry leaf tea. I know it's very good usually. I believe they used to call it like the women's herb because of the fact that it's so good for menstruation, etc. So it might be something you want to look up, honestly. But outside of that, pile 2, what do you need to release? What do you need to release? Let's see. This is a new deck of mine. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited I get to use it for you. Here we go. I'm here in college for someone specifically. I don't know if something with school, you're thinking about releasing school. Let me just check and make sure nothing fell. I had my eyes closed when I was shuffling. I guess we're good. But yeah, something with college came out specifically. So some of you might need to actually release something in regards to school, whether it's like fear of not finishing, fear of going back, if you have been maybe contemplating if you are in college, if this is the right course for you, maybe the thing you're studying, like there's something there. Okay, so let's see, we have the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, pile 2. Those of you who chose this pile, you're holding on really tightly to something. This could be money. You know, some of you might have come into some type of money recently. I don't know, okay, so let me tell you what I'm feeling. I get a sense with pile 2 that you are abundant. And perhaps you don't recognize that. Maybe you do, maybe you know. But I get a sense for many of you in this pile that you're actually really abundant, very prosperous. And you're not necessarily using that abundance or prosperity or blessings to the fullest out of a sense of fear. And that could be a fear of running out. I just heard poverty mindset. So some of you, maybe you came from backgrounds where, money specifically was not as abundant, and now you have more, and perhaps you never updated that mindset. So you might still be living in a space of fear, a space of lack. For others of you, there's something about resources. Has someone been collecting seeds lately? Like, I just keep getting a feeling of like, I don't want to use the word hoarding. Perhaps for someone here, perhaps you might find that you have been hoarding things and you need to release that habit. But for more other people outside of who I was just speaking to, there's a sense that you have been stockpiling something that you feel is a necessity, something that you feel would be, I'm hearing, for survival. So pile 2, I'm getting a sense, like I said, of fear. There is a sense of fear here. You might be fearful of losing something, not having enough of something, running out of something. And Spirit is telling you to kind of release that mindset. And also, there's a need to kind of appreciate what you have. They're saying you don't have to hold on too tightly. For someone specifically, that just came through in regards to either like a child or a loved one of yours, where you might be trying to influence them to not go after a certain dream or to do certain things because you are scared of, just life not being kind or fair to them. And Spirit is saying you can't stop people from going on their own paths. Whether it turns out good, bad, or otherwise, we all have to experience our own lessons. So that's for someone specifically, okay? And I know it's out of a place of love. Spirit knows it's out of a place of love. But you can't let your love be a cage. And that's really important. Okay, we have Queen of Pentacles. I just heard something about understanding. So for some of you in pile 2, I kind of, the feeling that came to me is that you might be around others who maybe they're struggling and maybe they're coming to you for money or help or something like that. And Spirit is kind of saying that I feel like there needs to be a little more empathy for some who chose this pile, because there's almost a feeling of like, well, you would have if you did this, or if you didn't spend it on that. Like, there's a little bit of a judgmental energy here. I'm not saying for everyone, but for those of you that, this resonates with you, Spirit is saying to not be so judgmental of others and the circumstances they have found themselves to be in at the time. We have the 10 of Swords. Yep, that's that fear we were talking about, that fearful mindset. Worst case scenarios, feeling overwhelmed mentally. And that also can be, let me just pause before I turn this over. That also can be the fact that for others of you, when it comes to the material right now, perhaps you have been over providing. And so it could be an energy, especially with the 4 of Pentacles, how I mentioned holding on, just so tightly. It could be this. It could be the fact that you have made it such a habit to nurture others and give to others that you don't pour into yourself. And it's just this fear of like, I can't do that for me. And Spirit is like, yes, you can. You have more than enough. Go book that massage. Go get yourself that perfume you wanted. Go spend a day doing something that felt right. Go pay for that class you wanted to take. Ooh, it's really hitting me. Spirit is saying that for quite a few of you who chose this pile, the actual issue that you're experiencing is that you do have enough. You just keep convincing yourself that you don't have enough to give to yourself. You're spending a lot of your resources, your time, your energy, your knowledge giving to other people, trying to make sure other people around you are okay. Once again, that kind of goes back to the fear of letting people figure it out on their own. letting someone, whether they fly or fall on their own. So for a very small group, there was more of a, and I say this with love, there was more of a slight miserly feeling of not necessarily wanting to help others because you feel like, well, they shouldn't be doing this, they shouldn't be doing that. There's a little bit of that going on. And in that case, you do need to release that. You do need to have a little more empathy for that person in their situation. Doesn't mean you have to overspill everything to them, but just being a bit more mindful. But for the large majority that I'm talking to in regards to this pile, it actually comes down to the fact that you are overly mothering, giving, nurturing, supporting somebody else or something else. Could even be, I just heard organization. So I don't know, if it's something you are associated with and you're just kind of pouring into that. But Spirit is saying you need to also pour into yourself. That doesn't even have to just be monetary. It can be finding time to sleep, making sure you've eaten today, okay? That you've had enough meals today, doing something nice for yourself, going to the gym, going for a walk, instead of being like, oh, I'm so busy, I can't. I can't. I'm just going to live off of coffee and keep running right now. Like, there's something like that that's important for this pile. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is usually a very positive card. It's usually about luck and new cycles and things like that. But this being something that needs to be released, I feel like for a large majority of you, this is almost being stuck in a negative mindset, a mindset loop and pattern of, once again, feeling like I have to step in, I have to help these people, I have to, and also just feeling like things don't change. Feeling as if nothing's ever going to change. So I get a sense here that for pile 2, Spirit wants you to let go and to evaluate, your cycles. Because I'm feeling like this is a pile that is very routine. You're very habitual. I don't know why they're showing me like somebody's toothbrush. So it's kind of like the way you put your toothbrush down, the way, like, I don't know. It's something about the way you stack things. And hey, I'm not judging. Many of you in this pile could be earth signs. You don't have to be, but I'm just saying I'm an earth sign. I sometimes can get like that, where I put this is where I put this, and but there's something about your habits, your daily habits, the way you think about things. Like, this pile is very meticulous, very routine. And that's not a bad thing. It's a strength. However, when it's used and paired with negative, self-defeating thoughts or pessimism, just fear of the future, of the outcome of change, then it becomes an issue. Pile 2, you have to make sure you don't get stuck in your ways. That's the most important thing that's coming through. That's what needs to be released right now. Oh, wow. Okay. Something about saying that with being stuck in your ways is hitting me about the times. Spirit is saying something about, evolving. And that can be in regards to your perception of things, your understanding of things, the things you're exposed to, the people. Like, there's something about it's okay to change your mind, honestly, to change your mind, to change your habits, to change your life. Even if it's not in the most drastic, type of way. I don't know why I just heard pink and it made me think of someone dyeing their hair pink. So I don't know if someone has been contemplating that or done that recently. You don't have to go there if you don't want to, but my whole thing is, even if it's not in drastic ways, even little changes can create big ripples. And that's what Spirit wants you to know. I guess Spirit has something else for you in these cards, because I didn't mean to pick this back up. Great Spirit, is there anything else you want them to know? Pile 2. The Magician. Okay. And the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so what came to me when I turned the Magician over was I did hear manipulator. And that doesn't have to be in the most nefarious way or malicious way or anything like that. But since this is a reading about what needs to be released, you have to be mindful of the way you're talking to some of the people around you. Pile 2, there's something about you that gives me a sense of respect. I feel like a lot of people respect you. A lot of people respect your opinion, your thoughts, maybe the life you've built for yourself, the success that they see that you have. There's a lot of people that they just really think highly of you. And I feel like your words have like weight. And so Spirit is saying to just be mindful of the way in which you use your words. Some of you could be spiritual practitioners, whether you know, you dabble in any type of spiritual practice or manifesting or speaking things into existence. Like, your words have weight, and it changes things around you. It changes people's minds. It changes, you know, shapes and forms and manifestations of things coming into your life. And Spirit is saying that you have people around you who are very impressionable, and they don't want you trying, as I mentioned previously, of shaping people to be the way you want them to be or behave the way you want them to behave, even if it's not out of, like I said, it's not out of a malicious place or a bad place. Even if you're just like, I just want this person to be okay. Spirit is saying you don't know someone else's journey, and where they might want to go might be the thing that actually makes them okay. So, you know, Spirit just wants you to be a little more supportive and open-minded, and just cautious of the warnings you give to people, or the, you know, if you're dissuading someone from something. Something with encouragement is coming through. Spirit wants you to encourage those around you a bit more, okay? This could also be the way you talk to yourself. For some of you listening, this could be the way you're talking to yourself in regards to ideas and things that you want to actually invest in and you want to try, especially because I feel like pile 2, there's a shift that's happening in this pile. Like, for all of you who chose this pile, there's something where the path you've been walking, they keep showing me like a wilting flower, and I get a sense that Spirit is saying the way you've been doing things all the way up until late, that's going to change. And some of you, I'm going to put it out there, you might start feeling a bit lost, okay? You might be feeling a little lost now, a little disoriented. And it's because the path that you're just so used to, you know, that routine, I do this, I do that, this happens, and da-da-da, and continue. You know, the careful laid out path that you have known is about to get shaken up. Something is going to change. That does not have to be a bad thing. It's just newness is about to come into your life. Something new. This could be a person. This could be a living situation. This can be just anything. You know, so many people watching, but there's something about something new being thrown into your usual routine that is going to shake things up. And Spirit wants you to approach things from a very lighthearted, curious, open-minded energy, that you see the blessings in that moment. Because pile 2, you guys, you all feel like the magician to me. You feel like you make things happen. You know, some of you might be really successful business people or something like that. Like, there's something where it's just like, you know, I see it, I dream it, I want it, I make it happen. Very practical, very, very practical. Like I said, you do not have to be earth signs, but it just feels earthy, okay? You might have a lot of earth in your chart or something, but overall, this particular pile, you're so used to control that Spirit is about to throw a little razzle dazzle in your life. Is about to shift some things where you actually have a bit of a loss of control, and Spirit wants you to learn how to navigate from there. Because they're saying you kind of, either you never had to experience that, or you forgot what it felt like to be in the uncertain and in the unknown, and the beauty of that, the beauty of those moments. So that is what I'm seeing. Let's now get some advice for you, okay? Let's see. I want to use these and some of the other decks. Great Spirit, what advice do you have for those who chose pile 2? Spirit. Okay. One second. We had one hit the floor. All right. So advice to you, pile 2. We have target, a goal-oriented person. Yes. So definitely, I don't think it's anything wrong with having goals. I don't think it's anything wrong with setting, you know, your eyes on something. But I do feel like Spirit is letting you know the target's going to shift up. and they really want you to just kind of be open to that. Some of you might need to make new plans. You know, something you were really going towards, it might be shifting. And I know how we talked about college in the beginning of this reading. Some of you might need to go study something new, especially if you're about to make a career change or academic change. There's something different that's coming this way. And Spirit is saying, like, you know, get ready. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I'm just saying, like, there's going to be, for some, a tower moment, a disruption. And I don't think tower moments are bad. They're not terrible. It's just that it's really clearing out something that has been long standing that may not serve you best in this moment or moving forward. I do want to just say, for someone specifically, be mindful of who you're sharing. I don't know if it's like something about valuable secrets or information or financial, like your financial decisions or something with, because I kind of get a sense that for whoever I'm talking to specifically, this is not going to go for everybody, you might have somebody around you who is it's giving, you know, it's giving secret double agent type vibes, where this person really just wants to know the secret to your success. And so you might be being targeted right now by someone. You know, they might be wanting to know, how are you making this money? What kind do you have? How are you so successful? How, you know, there's something about someone wanting to know, what's your secret? What's your habit? What's your, like, there's a gathering of information. So just be mindful. Some of you might be the target of someone who, I'm hearing destiny swap. I really don't ever use that term, but someone who wants what you have. Yeah, some of you might be dealing with some legal matters where somebody's trying to either sue you or come after you for something. Whoa, this wanted to turn over. Chain of events that will affect your life. Yeah, some of you might be dealing with some people who are like really focused on you and giving you like a difficult time, which could cause some of you to move, honestly. This is almost looking like the earth to me. Some of you might end up moving, leaving a job, something that you were once comfortable in. Spirit might use these individuals to cause discomfort and disruption to where you feel like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to buy this store, or I can't work here anymore, or I don't want to study this anymore, or I can't be with you. Like there's something that is supposed to move you. And Spirit is saying it's happening for a reason. Marriage. Okay, some of you, something with marriage might be popping up, whether you make a move and you end up meeting the person you're going to marry. Some of you might be actually going to a wedding and, you know, meeting up with someone. Or one second, little seashells are popping off of this. Something could be overseas for you. Just had to take the shells off, unfortunately, but marriage could be significant. It could be in regards to a married couple that might spark something. I just heard something with someone's business. So you might actually go into business, I don't know, with a married couple, or it could be like a married couple might have a business, might contract you for something. I don't know. This could be a positive thing too. It doesn't have to be necessarily a negative target. I just feel like outside people, some type of contract, some type of what am I trying to say? I don't know. Some type of unit. There we go. Could influence many of you in this pile, whether it's work that you're contracted for, whether it's a legal dispute or something against some type of conglomerate. There's something with that that's coming through. Now, outside of that, if you're not having an issue experiencing with that, you may actually end up being targeted for something that will change the course that you have currently been on, that could, as I said, lead you to meeting the person that you will marry. We have dogs, getting together with friends. Okay, so something with friendship. Your community will be very important. Those of you who chose pile 2, I feel like you have a lot of support around you. And as I said, many of you are highly looked after, highly sought, highly admired. Many of you might have some type of recognition in the public eye or your community, something like that. So definitely lots of good support around you. Which, let me pause before I turn anything over, could go back to what I was talking about with someone being envious because they see how much support you have. Cobwebs. I was just talking about that. Protected from negative forces beyond your control. Absolutely. So as I said, you're fine. Don't be worried about any of this energy. It is a course of events that has to take place, but you will be fine regardless. We have legs, stepping into a new experience. Absolutely. We already mentioned that. Ladder, climbing towards success. Beautiful. We love to see it. And bread, period of prosperity and abundance. Okay, so period. Pile 2, you're good. You're good. Let me just get a little more advice, okay? Let's get you some angel numbers. Let's see, Great Spirit. Do you have any angel numbers for those who chose pile 2? Any angel numbers? I'm hearing that song, give a little bit of your... I don't know the rest of the lyrics. If anybody knows, then definitely let me know in the comments. But give a little bit of your dun, dun, dun. What is it? It's like love to me. Give a little bit of your love to me. Something like that. Who sings that? I know it's an older song. Give a little bit. So you might be needing to just give a little bit more. Pile 2. Somebody could be giving a little more to you as well. Great Spirit, do you have an angel number for pile 2? 1 and 2. We'll use this one. I'm hearing something about gardening. I don't know why that's relevant, but something about gardening might be important. I just heard hidden. Somebody might, I don't know if you lost something in the garden or if there's something important in your garden. It could literally be a ring or something. Oh. And last but not least, I just heard, I don't want to change. Pile 2, just try not to, I say this for love, try not to be stubborn, okay? You're going to need a little flexibility on this journey. Some of you, I just heard I'm working on it. So some of you, I don't know if you've been getting into yoga, stretching, like you could literally be working on trying to become more flexible. Interesting. I just heard gymnast. So that could be relevant for someone. Great Spirit, what message do you have for those who chose pile 2? Hearing 3, so I think you need 3 cards. Okay. Okay, so let's start with these. All right, so we have 6688. Give up and get more. Oh, wow. Before I even go into anything else, that's what we were just talking about. Give a little bit and all of that. Spirit is saying like pile 2, when you release, especially this staunch hold you have on your thoughts, your routine, your monetary, you know, just needs and everything like that. When you release, you're going to allow yourself to get so much more. So it says giving, letting go, paying attention, moving forward. You are about to separate from something in the physical world. Let me pause. Some of you, that legal thing we talked about, especially with the marriage card, perhaps you're going through a divorce. Perhaps you're going through a separation. Like perhaps you're selling a company or something like that. Or I just heard severance for someone. You might be accepting severance pay or being offered severance. Something like that could be important. And Spirit is saying it's for a reason. It's going to lead you to better. Let me just put that out there. You are about to separate from something in the physical world, such as selling property. If you don't want to lose or sell anything in your material life, you can change your thoughts and change this direction. So for some of you, okay, we're going to get real honest, real blunt with love and light here, okay? And I'm always honest with you, but we're going to get a little deeper right now. Some of you, the course you might be going on especially in regards to the relationships in your life, business, romantic, otherwise, could be because you are not willing to change. You're not willing to give an inch. You're not willing to meet someone where they would like you to meet them, to compromise. And because of that, it is creating this path towards that tower moment we talked about. Now, that still doesn't mean that you're not abundant and blessed and protected and loved and all of that. It doesn't mean that. But Spirit is saying that for some of you, remember I talked about this magician energy feeling a little manipulative? It doesn't mean that it's coming from a place of being evil or any of that type of stuff. It's just that sometimes the magician may feel like, I have the power to change things, so I'm going to do it. And I'm going to change it in the way I want it to change, which really isn't changing me. It's changing everything else around me. So for some of you, to repair a relationship in your life, you might need to be willing to have some difficult talks and to hear this other person out and to be willing to make some changes, within the dynamic or how you're operating in certain routines and habits in order to make this work. So that's coming through. For others of you, something in the house might need to change. You might need to make some repairs, some adjustments. Something you've put off for a long time might need to be adjusted for the place to still be habitable for you. Because if you don't, it might lead to a pipe bursting or a discovery of mold or this or that or something like that. So there's something that this pile, you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable in order for the best result for you. Otherwise, you are on a course that something is going to shift and disrupt, okay? And you will be fine. You will recover, but it might lead you down a path that is away from something you really enjoyed and really loved and maybe really could have worked on to save. So, coming back to this, it says, however, if you intend to sell or separate from some things in your life, regard this sequence of numbers as a sign that your wish is about to be fulfilled. So if you do want to move forward with a change, if you do want to separate from someone, if you do want to sell your property, your house, your business, whatever the case is, Spirit is saying continue. Look at this number as a sequence of you're on the right path. But even in that situation, once again, you still are giving something. You still are releasing something, being flexible with letting something go. So it's all about the intention. Like, where are you trying to head? Are you trying to hold on to something or are you trying to let it go? That's going to be an indicator for what type of change. Something has to change regardless in this pile, but it's going to let you know what type of change has to come about. We got the loud car outside for confirmation. Next, we have 1199. Interesting. I don't know why I just heard the whole 911, which in America is the emergency operator number. Say goodbye to the old and welcome the new, which has been the whole theme of pile 2. And I'm sorry if I called you pile 1. Did I call you pile 1 at any point? Oof, I don't know. There might be a message in pile 1 for someone specific, but for the majority of you, apologies. Say goodbye to the old and welcome the new. Change, guardianship, growth. That guardianship part is hitting me. Some of you, I don't know if you're adopting, like an exchange student, adopting a child. That just hit me specifically. Doesn't have to be, for many of you, but something with that specifically, especially with this energy, as I was talking about your influence over those impressionable, could be someone you're raising. Some of you could be teachers. You might work with students, work with children or something like that. Okay. Either way, a new door has been opened for you, which is generated according to what you think. You now have the opportunity to look directly at your thoughts and can look at your creation face to face. Let the old disintegrate because it will be replaced by the new according to what you want. So as I mentioned, your intentions, things are going to change regardless, as I said. And wow, we even have the word change. Things are going to change regardless for those in this pile. It's just about the direction of that change is going to be directly proportionate, to your mindset in regards to that change, whether you're willing or if you go kicking and screaming. And if you're willing, then you're using your mind to actively try to create positive change. Okay, these are the steps I can take. I just heard for some of you, you already can notice change happening around you. Maybe your neighborhood is changing. Maybe, you see something in your company, like they're selling things off or just there's something that you already notice is changing, and spirit is saying, don't, what are they telling me? They're showing me like a rock in water, and it's like the water is rippling around it, but the rock is sitting still. Now, for many of you, that is coming across as you are the thing that is unwilling to change, unwilling to flow. And so change and everything new is happening around you. And spirit is saying they do not want you to be that. They do not want you to be in that energy. Change can be good. And if you are resisting change, it'll still be good, but it might just be a bit more shocking in the way in which it takes place. And you might not notice the goodness of it until you look back a little later. So I implore those of you watching, look at the areas in your life that are already shifting and changing, and make plans of how you can flow and make that change work to your benefit. We have watching clouds, lie back, rest, and relax. That is so beautiful. So for some of you, because you might be in a spirit already of having a rigid stance against something, fighting against something, spirit is saying the best thing you can do to allow this change to happen is to do nothing towards it. So for some of you where the change is already actively happening and you've been fighting against it, spirit is saying, just relax, just breathe. Some of you, you're waiting for some type of message to come in, could be from across seas, could be from a different job. There's something, could even be like, I don't know, because the water is making me think of like you might have had an emotional, I wanted to say turmoil, like something, a tough conversation, breakup, something, I don't know, it could be tough times emotionally. And they're saying like there is help that is coming. There could be like a message of apology or wanting to compromise or something coming in. Or I just heard agreement. So for some of you, you might be waiting for another side, another person, another party to state their demands or propose something. And spirit is saying, just wait, just be patient. There's some tea here. Here's a book. Just spend a little time reading, relaxing, de-stressing. Once again, for someone in this pile, the red raspberry leaf tea might be important. I don't know why. Okay, view from above, get the big picture. Okay, so also for those of you in this pile, spirit is saying you don't have all the facts yet. You don't understand everything that's going on yet. You might be making decisions or not making decisions based off of the limited view and perspective you have at the moment. But spirit is saying when you allow yourself to just be open, be receptive, which is completely different from being unmoving and rigid just for the sake of not, changing. If you allow yourself to be open and receptive and to be patient, that you are actually going to see things, some type of insight, some type of information that's going to change your perspective and offer you more insight into a better direction where you can take things. Something that's going to, like I said, work out for you much better. Next, we have surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Absolutely. And we talked about this where like for many of you in this pile, you are so routine, you are so dependable, you are so reliable, you are so, and I don't say this in a bad way, predictable. And so that though is something that's going to switch up for you. And spirit, and in a positive way. And spirit is saying in order to do that, you have to let go of who you told yourself that you were and what you thought you believed in. And it doesn't mean everything has to go, but there's going to be core things that you've been holding on to, which have actually become a hindrance and is no longer helping you. And so your habits are going to switch up. Some of you physically might switch some things up. Your environment, like there's something, if you always told yourself, oh, I would never do that. Oh, I couldn't do that. Oh, I always do this. That's going to be changing very soon. So let go of limiting. Here we go with some more let go. Letting go. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. That's beautiful. For some of you, the autumn might be really important. That might be a time. And right now, when I'm recording this, though it is a timeless reading, whenever you happen to see it, it's relevant. But for those of you who are watching it when I release it, we are in the fall. And so at least in, the American Eastern Standard Time hemisphere, all that, you might be going through major changes right now. You might be experiencing some of those changes right now. Surrender to prayer. So give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe and answers and support will arrive. Some of you, you either need to start praying, need to get back to praying. And also, no matter what your religious or spiritual, associations are, prayer is literally speaking to the higher power, the higher self, God, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is that you align with, and just putting your heart and your mind out there, and the things that you may find yourself feeling powerless against, or the directions you want to go, it is literally allowing you to have a conversation with the divine. And so some of you need to, in this pile, because there's a lot of independent, strong energy here, stop trying to do everything on your own or everything for everyone else. And instead, start speaking to spirit, start speaking to the divine, so that they can come in and they can do the things that you can't even see and also do not have the power to do by yourself. Surrender to the magic of who you are. This is beautiful. There's a horse back here that might be relevant for someone. I'm hearing prom for somebody. I don't know why that's coming up. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that come from just being you. So this is really hitting me in regards to the Magician, because I definitely feel like many of you in this pile, you are manifestors. You're very magical. You very much so are I speak and it is done. Whether that is in a boss type of sense, like, and I don't mean it rudely, but I snap my fingers and it happens type of thing, or you're shakers, you're movers, you're way makers. You get it done. When you speak, like I said, people listen, people want to help, people want to orchestrate it, people want to donate, whatever the case is. And so Spirit is saying that they want you to surrender to the fact that, I'm hearing like, I don't know, there was something about like it comes easy. They want you to feel like you don't always have to work so hard. I'm hearing work smarter, not harder. And so there's a sense here of you not having to feel like you have to just make everything happen. Like I said, let Spirit bring to you. Have that conversation with Spirit. Talk, because something feels also very practical about this pile. And that's what I'm picking up on. Even though you speak and you get it done, I don't think a lot of people in this pile look at that as a spiritual gift. I think you look at it from a very logical perspective, because you're so, what am I trying to say? You're so efficient, and you can see how 1 + 1 is equaling 2, and if I do this and this, it'll most likely lead me to here. You don't even recognize how that in and of itself is a gift. Like, there's a lot of people who cannot do that, and you are actually using spiritual gifts in the process. You have the gift of foresight, you have the gift of speaking and manifesting that thing, you have the gift of leadership, of people being drawn to your energy. You attract, you're abundant. Like, so many of the things you're just so used to that naturally being a part of you don't recognize are highly developed, highly like just functioning gifts, spiritual gifts that other people wish they can cultivate. And it's like you use it so effortlessly that you don't recognize that. And so what's coming through is that Spirit is saying they do not want, and I don't know why this is coming through. Let me pause. Wow, sorry. Something just sounded like it came from the roof or the attic, and I know nobody up there. I don't know if somebody's been hearing footsteps in their attic or something lately, but okay. Either way, back to what I was saying. Spirit doesn't want you to feel like you have to do things all on your own. Spirit wants you to be able to rely, and I feel like for many of you, you are getting closer to your divinity in this way. That's something else that's going to change, because oh, there we go. That's where I was going to. Hold on. Let me finish this message, Spirit. Because Spirit wants you to know that you are not alone. And you do have a very nice, clear relationship with the divine. The divine has always been there to support you. So they don't want you to feel like, oh, I did everything on my own. Some of you I've heard way back. So you might actually be making your way back into spirituality, back into your faith, whatever way that manifests itself, whatever religion, whatever practice. But Spirit is saying that it's going to benefit you by realizing the moments where you are blessed versus feeling like I only made these things happen. I had to do it alone. You're never alone. You're never alone. Something with angels is coming through too. Someone might be starting to work with angels again. Might have been praying to the angels. There's something with that coming through, and the angels want you to know. I just heard I received, and I had a feeling of bread. I don't know. And I'm also seeing like a little saucer of milk. Is it milk and honey? I don't know what it is, but someone may have left the offering out for like the angels or some type of spiritual help. And I'm supposed to let you know it was received. Received, thank you. Interesting. I just heard bubbly. I don't know if somebody left something bubbly or seltzer water or something out. For someone, if you created like an ancestral altar or some type of altar, of course, do your own divination on this before you offer it. Listen to your intuition always. But something is coming through of a request of like something bubbly. So I don't know if the deity or the ancestor or whomever you were offering to would actually like some seltzer or some champagne. Something with that came out specifically. Okay, I'm sorry, we're back. Now to the previous message before I heard the footsteps in the attic. Is that a poem? Is that a story title? Where have I heard that? Okay, sorry. Romantically, for many of you, you need to learn to receive. Many of you, and this doesn't mean that you don't put in your effort in your part, but many of you do not know how to receive like love, support, you know, to allow things to naturally flow. And honestly, I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on you. Like, I struggle as well because I definitely am a shaker, a mover, a way maker. And so it can be hard to be patient, to allow things to just flow to you, allow people to just show you certain things. But Spirit is saying, like, romantically, for some of you, you would get so much further ahead if you didn't try to influence or push or, you know, maneuver or move, if you just allowed yourself to sit back and watch and observe and receive and just say thank you. You know, like, there's something with that that's important, because they want you to know you're already perfect the way you are. You know, you don't have to change yourself or become so quote unquote useful, protect, like, I don't know, there's something like that that's coming through, and Spirit is saying all that other stuff is performative. Like, all of that other stuff is performative. Like, of course you need to compromise and, you know, sit with your partner and understand what they need and what you need, whether it's romantic or we're talking friendship or business or whatever. You know, there should be a meeting of the minds, a meeting of the hearts, a meeting of the needs. But, you know, you shouldn't jump instantly into trying to be everything for everyone all at once, to where your needs are never expressed, never talked about, and you kind of operate as if, well, I don't need anything. You do. All right, pile 2, that's what's been coming through for you. This is such a beautiful reading, honestly. You're abundant, you're blessed, you're good. Like, you just need to now learn how to release healthily. So I'm sending you lots of love and light, lots of positive energy, pile 2. Please feel free to let me know what resonated for you in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I do read it. And if you would like a personal reading on anything, you know, whether it's school or finance or personal health or love, whatever the case is, I am providing personal readings. You can book one with me at my Etsy shop. So the link for that will be in the description box below. But until next time, pile 2, take care. Welcome, pile 3. Last but not least, let's look into what do you need to release. Oh, not me over here rhyming. Some of you might be poets, might be songwriters, or I don't know, something of that nature, performers. Okay, I just heard children's book. Someone might be writing a children's book. Okay, I heard something about relax. Some of you might need to relax. What else? Mars is coming through. What is that? Is Mars connected to Aries, I believe? Some of you could be Aries. Something about the energy of Mars. M-A-R, possibly S. Could be someone's initials who's watching. Okay, so Great Spirit, please tell me, those who chose this particular pile, what do they need to release? I just heard gossip for someone. I don't know if someone's been gossiping about you or if you've been gossiping about something. have strength. Okay, this is for someone specifically, but for someone, you might be dealing with someone who is behind bars, in jail, or someone that you're just separated from, someone that maybe your family doesn't like this person, their customs, their tradition, someone you could have broken up with. There's an energy here. What's coming through is there's an energy or relationship or something you are devoted to, something you have been very loyal to, something you have been giving your undivided attention and time and energy to, that spirit is saying it no longer serves you and you need to release it. Yeah. There's something here that you have dedicated yourself to that spirit is saying you need to have the courage of letting that go. And it might have become so comfortable to you, maybe the struggle, for some of you struggle love, or just the familiarity of the scheduling or something like that. For someone I just heard long distance, like there's something about this dynamic that it possibly was something long standing or has a potential to drag on for many years, that spirit is saying they do not necessarily want this for you. Now, please listen to your own intuition before making any sudden changes or anything. But for those of you that this resonates with, you know what I'm saying. All right, I'm back. The camera cut off. I finished my tea. We're here. So yeah, that's coming through. For someone, I also heard strong headache. Someone might have something with migraines. And I don't know if there is... Like I said, take this with a grain of salt. Take this with your own intuition, advising. But some of you might have been looking into acupuncture or some type of procedure or something. For someone specifically, something with the nostrils is standing out to me. I don't know if that is related to the migraine message that had came up, but yeah, somebody might have been holding off getting something medical done that could be very helpful, possibly a surgery. I'm hearing something about someone's spine, so that's coming through too for someone. But you might have been holding off on getting that out of fear or, Interesting. Okay. 8 of Wands. Yeah. This pile is scared to move on. You could be scared of travel. You could be scared of like communication in regards to something. There is a sense here of you like the status quo. You kind of like how things are. You like what you expect. And I feel like for this pile, that pile 3, you're being told that you need to let go of all of that. Some of you need to make a move, need to make some type of travel, need to make some type of adjustment, need to send some type of letter, some type of resignation, some type of communication. Need to examine the things that you are allowing yourself to be held back because of. Person, place, or thing. 6 of Pentacles. And this can come from the fear of feeling like if I move on from this, I'm never going to receive anything better. This is the best that I can get type of mindset. And Spirit is saying, no, it's not. No, it's not. Wow. I mean, this is I want to say this is a very loving energy that I get here. Many of you really love, really enjoy, for the most part, whatever it is that you have dedicated yourself so staunchly towards. But even if it's a career, a job, a place, there's something you have put many years and much time and effort into that you don't want to walk away from. But Spirit is saying it's for the best. Now, what I'm saying though, I feel like for pile 3, this is not shocking. You know this. I'm staring at the word logic here on this hand. You know this. This is something that you are understanding, you are aware of, you've already peeped the situation. It's just you're not willing to necessarily move forward from it. I just heard something about engagement. So somebody might be in a very long-standing engagement and it's not necessarily what you want. You want to progress, but you're comfortable with just staying in the engagement as long as you're engaged. And I mean, it could even be marriage, but I heard engagement specifically for someone. But there's something here of Spirit saying like everything that you have been begging this person for and hoping for, you can get that and more much quicker with someone else. Three of Pentacles, yeah. Yeah, some of you are working so hard to save others at the expense of yourself, and it's keeping you stuck in cycles. It's keeping you stuck in, honestly, in less than you deserve. I'm hearing breadcrumbs, minimum, like low effort. You're being stuck and you're only being thrown like the scraps of something because of the fact that you're not willing to move forward. Now, for someone specifically, this could be an IT job. This can be the type of roles you accept, like work related. It's a matter of you're not getting that promotion and you're not advancing because of the fact that your boss, the job, the company, whatever, they feel as though you're comfortable, you're good, you're safe. You wouldn't leave us. You know, we'll turn you down, we'll overlook you because you'll accept it. You're a team player, I'm hearing, but it doesn't have a good energy behind that. For someone specifically, stop sharing your ideas, your plans, because I get a sense of people like taking your hard-earned plans, your blueprints, and not giving you credit for it. That's coming through. Make sure you copyright your stuff before you share it, patent it, whatever you need to protect yourself. Temperance. The Magician. You know what's crazy? I heard stop being so understanding when I put this down. So I feel like for some of you in this pile, you're just so understanding. Even when people are trying to disrespect you. You're so helpful. You're so willing to find a way, to make a way, to, you know, explain something for others, to help, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that when it's to the people who deserve it or the situations that deserve it. But many of you are in places and spaces and with people that don't. And it's like a very big using energy around this pile. I don't like that. Because I feel like many of you are sweethearts. You know, you have such good intentions. You have like, it's almost like romantic energy here, which that doesn't have to be just in regards to love. Like just even romanticizing your life. You know, you believe in the whimsy, okay? You believe in beautiful things and that life does not have to be, you know, full of suffering and hardness and things like that. However, even though you believe in that, pile 3, what's coming through is you actually allow yourself to be stuck in hardness and in suffering because you feel as if you are being a martyr, being self-sacrificing is the way in which you can show others that you love them, show others that you're dedicated. And if you just keep going, if you just keep doing it, eventually they'll notice and they'll appreciate and they'll change. But let me tell you this, pile 3. If your actions are benefiting someone, if they can receive all your blessings with bad behavior, why would they ever change? Why would they ever be motivated to change if the way they're behaving right now, they're being rewarded for? And that's something Spirit wants me to let you know. Yeah, I keep hearing something out of nothing, and it's giving me a feeling that you just make so many people's lives around you easier, but it's to a detriment of yourself. Yeah. I'm also getting a sense that in this pile 3, you might be scared to stand out. Quite a few of you watching, I feel like there's some wallflowers, there we go. There's some wallflowers in this group, and there's a little hint of shyness. So you might be scared to stand out, and Spirit is saying like you really need to tap into your own power, your own strength, because you're so gifted, you're so talented, you're so blessed. Like you need to shine. Now, however, saying that, Spirit is saying it's okay for you to find the way that's comfortable for you to shine. You don't have to shine like somebody else. And I feel like this is relevant to those I'm speaking to who might be, you know, the artist I was talking to. It doesn't have to be just them. But for instance, let's say you have a business, you have a hobby, you have a skill that you want to bring to the masses. You know, let's say you're a musician, you want to somehow get your music out there to social media and stuff. You want it to go viral, etc. The problem is that you may not like social media. You may not like having to put yourself out there, being seen, being perceived, you know, potentially being judged. And you may not like the way you see other people going about that route. Now, the big thing that I'm getting from Spirit is that you don't have to go about things in the way that other people did. You can find what works for you. You know, maybe you never show your face. Maybe you only show your face in shadow. Maybe, like, there's, Spirit is saying that there is a way to do this that is uniquely your own and will feed to your comfort, but still give you the result that you've been looking for. And so apply that as you will to whoever I'm speaking to and that resonates. You don't have to be a musician, but there's something about you being seen, being perceived, and that kind of scares you. However, you can be perceived as the way you want to be. You don't have to, you know, post or be out there or dress or talk a certain way just because other people did it. No. What's your unique flavor? What feels right for you? And how can you reach the people who will appreciate that as well? There's a lot of interruptions during this reading. I didn't have this for any of the other piles. So yeah, I had put down the Eight of Cups, and I think this is very relevant because the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something. And I feel like with the interruption, the camera cutting off, and we have a lot of eights. Wow. I just realized that 888. The number 8 might be significant for those watching. But I feel like Spirit is talking about the fact that maybe quite a few of you get distracted easily or distracted from your dream by other things that you feel like might be more obtainable, more realistic, quote unquote. So you don't actually go after the thing that you really have wanted, you really wanted to manifest. There's something about that is coming through, and Spirit wants you to stop self-abandoning. Honestly, that's the biggest thing that's coming through for everyone who chose pile 3. You are in a habit of self-abandoning, self-sacrificing, and Spirit is saying it is not going to put you where you want to be. It is keeping you stuck. It is keeping you short-sighted. It is keeping you exhausted. I just heard dehydrated for someone, so that could be very relevant. But there is a sense here of you need to start doing for yourself. You need to start putting that courage, that dedication, that loyalty, you know, all that creativeness you possibly have been pouring into someone else or something else. You need to pour that into yourself and your endeavors. Okay. Let's get some advice for you, okay? Let's see if Spirit has anything else and any advice. So, I want to pull the Norman, I want to pull the career deck, and I feel like for this particular pile, I'm going to pull a lot more cards than the other ones, but I feel like you need it. So, Great Spirit, do you have any advice? No. Spirit wants me to ask, what's the current energy around you? Pile 3, those who chose pile 3, what's the energy around you? Okay. So we have 14, which breaks down to 5. We have 32, which breaks down to 5. And then we have right here 39, which breaks down to 14, I believe. And so pile 3, you got a lot of... Okay, let me pause. For some of you, there's a lot of people watching. So for some of you, no matter who's watching pile 3, there is a confusion around you, like a fog. Now, for some, that is self-created, to where you have not been meeting your own needs. You have been allowing yourself to stay undercover. You know, you have not been taking risk. And so there is a sense of being kind of like fogged in, being uncertain. You know, you have been letting time pass, cycles pass. For others of you, you might be in some type of arrangement, contract, communication with someone, something that is giving you the runaround. As I said in the previous message, be careful who you're sharing your ideas with. Your art, your lyrics, your story idea, your movie plot, your patent, invention that needs to be patented. There's something here that quite honestly is showing a shifty, sneaky behavior that I feel like for some of you who have much to offer in regards to some type of talent, etc., could even be, not even just that you have to be doing something, could even go back to potentially a loved one or a partner that you want to build something with. And this can go back to that strength card I saw of you being so devoted, and loyal to this individual. There might be something going on behind the scenes that you are not aware of. You know, there is some type of deal, some type of contract, some type of notice in the contract or wording that you might need to have a lawyer look after, some type of intention that this person has in regards to you or the relationship and distance that has not been made aware to you. There's something sneaky with this fox. There's something sneaky that's hidden from you. And Spirit is letting you know that you might be gambling some type of blessing, some type of time on someone who is literally playing games, something that is literally playing games with you. This is your environment, pile 3. So either you're gambling with your own time by staying small and staying hidden and staying secretive about your gifts and your talents and your wants, your wishes, your dreams, your desire to get married, to have children, to maybe not ever get married, to have children, to travel. You know, there's something that you really long for and want that you are not allowing yourself to receive because you're not being open, you're not being honest, you're not going after that thing for yourself. And for others of you, you are in somebody else's game where they are telling you what they want you to hear, but not what you need to know. That's your environment, pile 3. Let's see. Somebody doesn't want you to hear this message. There's a train going by right now, and I just feel like you've had a lot of interruptions, and I just really feel like somebody doesn't want you to wake up, doesn't want you to, see the truth of something. Somebody want to keep you in the dark. It benefits. Somebody is benefiting from you being left in the dark. Yeah, some of you, your ancestors and spiritual support team have been trying to give you signs. I'm hearing waking you up in the middle of the night. Could be something with rattling your windows. I don't know why that came through. Like the glasses could literally be somebody's glasses. I don't know. Or like glass cups or something. There's like a rattling. But it's like your spiritual support system, your team is trying to get your attention. Yeah. They really want you to pay attention so you don't get got, okay? All right, let's pull some career cards for you. What advice does Spirit have for you in regards to your career, pile 3? Ooh, what advice does Spirit have for you in regards to your career, pile 3? I'm hearing go. Okay. Go where? Maybe some of you have an opportunity you were presented in Spirit is like, go, take it, do it. Pile 3. I'm hearing 4, so Spirit wants me to turn 4 cards over for you. All right. Get some angel oracle for you. I feel like your angels want to come through. I'm hearing you haven't spoken to me in a long time. Somebody's ancestor, feels like a grandmother, feels like you don't talk to them anymore or not as much as you used to. Maybe you used to, tell them everything, even when you were going through hard times, whether they passed on or not, if you just called them. Something like that's coming through. Great angels, what message do you have for those who chose pile 3? What message, great angels? I'm hearing Michael, Archangel Michael wants to speak to somebody. Got a message. I heard I got a message and a lesson. Okay. What else? I'm gonna get you a surrender card, and then maybe we'll close out with an angel number. No, I keep staring at the other deck. We'll do that one instead. Great Spirit, what advice do you have for those who chose pile 3, please? I'm hearing 1. 1 card. Take it or leave it. Okay. We'll take it. And last but not least, Great Spirit, what message is going to help those who chose pile 3? What message is really going to help those who chose pile 3? her divide. Spirit really wants to point out that you have free will. Ooh. I'm staring at free will and fate. Many of you may be scared to make certain choices because you might be worried about, like, you know, is this the right path? Is it what I'm supposed to do? Like, you know, is it going to hurt other people? Which, you know, those are, that's very responsible ways of thinking, of course. But Spirit is saying, like, there's a lot of fear here to misstep. And Spirit is saying you have free will. Like, yes, some things are fated to be, but honestly, you can make your own choices as well. Fate will meet you along the way. All right, so let's jump into this. So we have right track. You are going in the right direction, so just keep moving forward. That is beautiful. See, Spirit is saying don't be so scared. Like, you're on the right track, pile 3. You really are. It's just there's some things along the way that here's another thing that's coming through very strongly that I need to say. You are on the right track, and there's a lot of beautiful blessings that are about to enter your life, pile 3. And Spirit is concerned about some of the people that you have in your orbit who want to feed off of that, want to use that, want to align themselves with that in unhealthy ways. So it's very important that you develop being able to put down boundaries, you know, being able to cut people off, being able to distance yourself from that which does not serve you, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of leeches around you. People can already smell your potential. That's what's coming through. You're giving off a scent. I just heard, you smell different. I don't know if somebody has said that to someone recently. Oh, you smell sweet. You smell different. Like, people can smell the scent of success off of you, literally. Transform and rise. Your journey of transformation unlocks vast potential, guiding your evolution to new heights. Yeah, I feel this very strongly. Spirit is letting you know, in order to go further, to receive more blessings, more happiness, you know, obtain the things in which you want to obtain, you have to be willing to transform. You have to be willing to let those things go for you to change, for you to, I'm literally seeing a phoenix. Like, you have to die to your old self to be reborn. This could be image-wise. This could be like behaviors, what you used to allow, what you used to accept. You know, there is something here about literally, I just heard glamour magic. Somebody might be doing glamour magic for themselves to help, you know, with their self-perception or, you know, their perception as an artist or the world. Like, whatever it is you need to do within healthy, you know, means, you got to do what you got to do. But Spirit is saying, like, there's going to be a lot of changes here, and especially how you perceive yourself and how other people perceive you. Go your own way. Trust your intuition and embrace individuality, paving your path with courage and authenticity. And that's exactly what we've been talking about this entire time, especially for those who, I'm hearing something about, like, your identity has been really wrapped up in certain people, places, and things that you've always just, like, you know, associated yourself with. They're saying, like, no, you have to define who you are as a person, what you like, what you want to do outside of this thing, outside of this person, whatever the case is. So that's really important. And especially, as I mentioned, for my creatives, my artists, you know, those who just are being perceived in the public eye, it's really important that you define how you want to be seen, how you want to go about that, how you want to go about your image. And going back to, as we mentioned, doing that in a way that is authentic to you. Whether I'm talking to a performer or not, the biggest thing for this pile also is image, your perception of yourself, your perception of others, and also the way you are self-sacrificing and you know, putting yourself on the back burner because of how you see yourself. Honestly, many of you may be struggling with low self-esteem, low self-worth. And that will definitely affect how you see yourself and how you think the world is perceiving you. And that will affect what you allow yourself to, you know, demand or, you know, accept when it comes to other people in their treatment. So Spirit really wants to work on your self-image, because the way you see you, you reflect to the world. And that sets a precedence of how other people are allowed to approach you, to talk to you, to deal with you. We have surrender to spirit. Once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let spirit work its magic for you. So for those of you who you have been trying to change certain things, have been trying to, separate from certain things or implement certain things into your life, and you just feel like nothing's working, spirit is saying, listen, you do everything that you can. And once you feel like you've done that, you're not meant to do anything else. You have to, you're going to feel the moment where you're like, oh, I've done everything, like there's nothing else I can do for this situation. I've tried everything. And spirit is like, that's when spirit steps in. Doesn't mean you don't continue to have patience and to be diligent when it comes to your training or your self-care or certain things like that. But it means that you allow spirit to actually step in when you're not actively trying to do and make things happen. And even in better ways than you could have ever expected. Clairaudient, Archangel Zadkiel. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Some of you need to speak more kinder to yourself. And if you're around people who are not speaking kindly to you, they gotta go. They gotta go. Anybody who makes you feel less than, anybody who puts you down, makes you doubt yourself, you need to distance yourself from them. Some of you, messages might come to you through songs, through lyrics, through watching a movie or TV show, and something that you hear someone say, something that a friend just calls and tells you or texts you. Like there's something conversationally, something audibly that stands out. Some of you might, something with affirmations, could be affirmation music, affirmation songs or instrumentals or something like that. Relationship harmony, Archangel Raguel. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So this is letting me know that you don't have to do so much to try to heal everything. Your spiritual support team is letting you know that if there have been arguments, if there has been any type of heartbreaks and things like that, they're working to help heal the situation. Now, healing doesn't always mean bringing something back together or holding it together. Sometimes the healing makes you realize that perhaps this person or situation is not the best for you and you move forward. But there is some type of healing that is going on here. Now, healing could be the fact of something coming together, some type of rift being closed, some type of opportunity coming in when you least expected it. But there's something here, no matter what, a spirit saying you're going to be okay. You've done a lot of work. You need to now just focus on self-care and let us, your angels, your support system, spirit, do the rest. Gifts from God. We angels bring you gifts from your creator. Open your arms to receive. Yes. This pile, you just have a lot of blessings coming your way, and spirit just wants you to have the confidence to believe that you deserve it. That's the biggest thing I'm sensing here. So school. The answer that you are seeking involves going to school. Some of you might have been drawn to pile 2. Yeah, that's standing out. For others of you, maybe something learning-wise is important. Maybe something school-wise is important. Maybe being a teacher, being a student, wanting to learn some new information to further your craft or your skill or what you're trying to accomplish could be important. What's standing out to me is 17, 18 over here. We got 19 as well. So there's a progression happening with your learning. We also have 27. Someone could be hiring someone here to teach something you're very knowledgeable in. I just keep getting a feeling of like opportunity to be a mentor, or maybe some of you have great knowledge that you need to be teaching, you need to be sharing with the world. You might be really advanced in a particular subject, and so maybe you need to start a YouTube channel or something with social media to share that particular knowledge. Interesting. Protected, period. So you are safe and supported while you change your career. So some of you might be switching things up with your career, might be trying to take a hobby to the next level or something like that. And Spirit is just letting you know you're safe, you're good. While you're doing this, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Listen to your intuition as you go and just know you're going to be fine. I'm hearing if you build it, they will come. Talk to your angels. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. So instead of stressing, pile 3, your spiritual support team is saying, ask us to help. Ask us to step in. Ask us, for the answer, and we will show it to you. Be open to hearing that answer. Also, I do want to just say that you can also let your spiritual support team know the best ways to tell you an answer. Like if you're really big with angel numbers, if you're really big with like messages in dreams or messages through songs or things like that, and the song part really just stood out. If you are playing like a radio or something, or iPod or Apple Music or whatever, wherever music is played these days, and you shuffle it and just let them know like the next song may be a message to you, to me, Great Spirit, God, Allah, whomever you align with, to tell me the next step, the next path, advice, what this person feels for me, etc. And then you go to the next song, look into the lyrics of whatever that song is, okay? And the answers should be in there. Something should stand out to you from that. Last but not least, we have career change. You're embarking upon a career that brings you the joy and abundance you desire and deserve. So for many of you, as I said, you might be switching it up. You might actually be letting go of something you've held on to so tightly before, and to now try something different. And they want you to know you're protected while you try those different things. So just express your true authentic self. Don't try to be like somebody else. Let you shine through. Allow yourself to be changed in beautiful ways by, self-assurance and confidence, and really working on your self-esteem. And just know that you are blessed. You are blessed. Spirit wants to bring so many gifts to you. People I don't know what I was about to just say, but something with people are like drawn to you is about to come out. You're good, pile 3. Like they said, you are on the right path. You just need to trust yourself. You just need to get in. And sometimes trusting yourself is getting rid of the things that don't serve you, that you already know don't feel right. So trust yourself, have courage to make those changes, and know that it's all for the better. You are protected, and that more blessings and abundance are coming into your life. Okay? I love this for you, pile 3. I'm sending you lots of love, light, and positive energy. Whew. Yes. Let me know what resonated for you, if you're comfortable doing so, in the comments below. I love reading them. And also, if you would like to book a personal reading with me to go over anything like, career, this next step, your life, love life, finances, I definitely can go through that with you. You can book that with me through my Etsy shop, and you'll find the link for that in the description box below. But until next time, pile 3, take care.